So welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining the Wisconsin Faith and Solar webinar. I'm Huda Alkaff with the Wisconsin Green Muslims. Now to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee. So we have both Mark Mueller and Bruce Wiggins. Or Bruce?
So I was asked to talk about the historic preservation aspect of this. And Mark, are you going to talk about the current issues we're working on, or the past one too?
Well, yeah, the current issue, I think probably we should not get involved in.
Okay, well, let me show a picture of our building here. I'm gonna share a screen. So are you seeing the photos now of the church?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we have done, Mark, when did we do the original solar panels?
About 10 years ago.
10 years ago. So you can see them back here in the back. It's over our fellowship hall behind the entrance. That was the only place that was visible from feet. And so while we did have to go to the Historic Preservation Commission, this is a building on both the national and the local register of historic places. But because it didn't really affect the facade of the building, there was really no problem with getting the historic preservation aspects of it. They were very concerned about not putting solar panels here on the part of the church that is visible from the street, but we're at Ogden and Astor Streets over on the east side, just a little bit north of downtown. And so we ended up going through a fundraising campaign and doing a bunch of insulation and energy conservation work, as well as the solar panels. These pictures down here are what I submitted to the Preservation Commission to get approval to do our new solar panels, which are currently on hold now, but I'll discuss a little more about the historic preservation approval process after Mark talks a little bit about our original project.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about the original project. What you can see from the street is about half of what we put in at the time. And that was only, I think, about a 10 kilowatt system. So it's fairly minimal and maybe produces, I think, less than 10% of the energy usage for the church. So we were hoping to increase that to probably 4 times as much, almost 40 kilowatts more on the south-facing roof. So Bruce, if you could show where the south-facing roof is with the, yeah, so there's the south-facing roof. So there's quite a bit of room. And then if you could also highlight the apartment building up above.
Yeah, okay. The apartment building is also owned by the church. It's to the, let me see, the south of the church building itself.
Right, and it has a flat roof, and we were going to put additional panels on that flat roof. I guess, probably what doesn't hurt to say that We Energies refused our interconnection because of our funding mechanism. it's possible that we might consider in the future, if we can't get that reversed by the State Public Utilities Commission, if we can't get the funding mechanism which caused the problem with the interconnect reversed, then it's possible that we would do it that we did the first time around and just look for donations or take out a loan. I was going to be owning the new system, and that was a problem for We Energies. If the church owns the system, of course they don't. It's not an issue for them. But with COVID, we've pretty much ground to a halt. So I think that's about all, I have to offer.
Yeah. Okay. So unless there's any questions, we're really held up at this point. The Public Utility Commission okaying that third-party financing agreement, and we've got people who are very interested in taking this appeal to the Public Utilities Commission on this third-party financing deal. And we don't know yet whether that's going to be overturned or what. In the meantime, I took the this new proposal to our Historic Preservation Commission, and the big issue there was the visibility from the street. The Historic Preservation Commission is very concerned about not compromising the historic appearance of the property, and I ended up taking this and applying for what they call a certificate of appropriateness. And I just want to show this other page here. I call it Legal Aspects of Historic Preservation Commission Review of our First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee Solar Panel Application. And in your cases, if you have a historic building, it really depends a lot on your local commission and what that preservation ordinance calls for in local government. And you can see here under number 1, it says the City of Milwaukee Historic Preservation Office requires a certificate of appropriateness for solar installation at historic properties.
Bruce, are you sharing your screen? Are you showing us something?
Yes, you're not seeing it?
No, we just see the photos of the church.
Let me see here then.
You need to stop sharing and start share again.
Okay, let me stop sharing and see where. Okay, do you see a page of typing now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is the legal aspect. If any local congregations are looking to put solar panels on a historic building, it depends a lot on the local preservation ordinance. And as I say here under number 1, as part of obtaining the building permit for the solar panels, since this is a historic building, you get referred to the Historic Preservation Commission and need to receive a certificate of appropriateness. And as it says down there under number 1, the COA, Certificate of Appropriateness, is issued by historic preservation staff in line with the solar zoning ordinance and Wisconsin statute. And the Wisconsin statute is an important element that I really want to point out here. It's in chapter 66 of the state code, 66.0401, regulation relating to solar and wind energy systems. Talks about a political subdivision, meaning a city. And as it says under 1M there, no political subdivision may place any restriction, either directly or in effect, on the installation or use of a solar energy system as defined there, and look below and you can see what that definition is. So local government cannot restrict the use of a solar or wind energy system unless the restriction satisfies one of the following conditions. And you can see those three conditions there. B was the important one for us. Does not significantly increase the cost of the system or significantly decrease its efficiency. If we had to put up solar panels that were not visible from the street at all, it would have been a significantly smaller system. And the one thing that the Historic Preservation Commission did require is that we use dark colored solar panels that would match or closely match the dark color of the roof, as we saw in the previous picture. And there were no alternative energy systems under C there. There was no alternative system of comparable cost and efficiency. We don't have any land. We don't have any parking lots in this building. And so it would have been a significant diminution of the system if the Historic Preservation Commission had or had denied the certificate of appropriateness. So for historic buildings, you might be able to use this element of the state statutes to your advantage. And so I want to leave you with that message here. We did receive the certificate of appropriateness Commission, and if we were going to go ahead with this, the next step would have been to get the building permit and go ahead. But as long as we don't have the interconnect agreement with We Energies, this system is now on hold. I think that's what we've got, unless you want to add anything, Mark.
No, that's basically it. We're on hold.
But again, I mean, you're offering really great information here about how to deal with the historical designation, because we know that there's several faith communities, faith facilities are designated as historical buildings, and they're interested in solar. So this is definitely something that we want to see how we can benefit them if at all possible. So, all right. Yeah, with that, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you to our three presenters.